Hey everyone, it's Brooke and welcome back to my channel. I thought I would just do a little chat today to kind of welcome myself back to BookTube and to tell you a little bit about where I've been, but not much, and to talk about my channel going forward. So 2016, as pretty much anyone will tell you, was a terrible, no good, very bad, horrible year, and specifically the last quarter of the year was horrible for me personally for a bunch of reasons. And I just wasn't reading at all the latter half of the year, and so I took a BookTube break and dealt with personal stuff because that's what needed me. When I wanted to come back, and the new year seemed like a good time, and I thought, oh, I'll do all these videos to catch everyone up on where I've been and my favorite books of 2016 and all this stuff. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to start from where I'm at now and not worry about last year. Just forget it existed. So a really quick little mention. I will say my favorite book of 2016 was The Unseen World by Liz Moore. It was one of the last video reviews I did of 2016 on my channel. I read that book as soon as it came out in the summer because I love her so much. I loved Heft a lot, which was the book she wrote before The Unseen World. So that was my favorite book, and now we're just moving forward. Let's see, so I kind of out of this idea of BookTube and what I wanted to continue talking about on my channel. It's definitely books, but also just storytelling in general. You know, there are times when things in my life require all of my mental capacity and I just can't read, because to read I really have to shut my brain down. I have to be able to quiet it, and there are just moments, and there's going to be a lot of moments going forward in this political climate and just personally that I'm not going to be able to read all the time. So I wanted to be able to talk about other things on this channel, which I can always do with my channel, but I just wanted to tell y'all that I do intend to make this more of a storytelling channel, where I'll talk about whatever stories I'm, consuming, whether it be television or movies, books, whatever that may be at the time, because if I'm not reading, I am generally watching a lot of TV. That tends to be when I catch up on TV. So you might start seeing some TV stuff, some movies. I don't really know what that'll look like. And full warning that the TV and the movies I like don't have much in common with the books I read. Every medium that I like consume stories in, I do it for different reasons. Much of my TV and movie going experiences are pure escapism, so I watch a lot of more fun stuff, I guess. So just that's how that goes. Also, in terms of like book buying, I did want to talk about this. Not that my book buying is changing. It's changing a little bit out of necessity, not because I want it to change, but I have a ton of doggy medical bills, which was part of the reason my end of the year was terrible. My dog got cancer and we had to treat it, and so that cost a small fortune, which has changed the way I am allowed to spend money for about a year and a half. And so just by necessity's sake, my book buying and book hauls and things like that will be changing, and I've tried to find a way for it to make the most sense for me. I will still be buying books. I had already calmed it down last year, and I'd given myself a budget every month that I'd really stuck to and had done really well with. And I am continuing with that budget, so because it works really well, it fits in with our budgetary necessities, and basically I also had to I gave up half of that budget to donating to charities after that person won the presidency. So a lot of my money now goes to causes I believe need my money. So what books I do buy are going to work on a first in, first out basis, though. That means in order to buy a book, I have to read that book immediately. And that comes from a place of, I have just culled so many books from my shelves that I haven't read or had never read, never gotten around to for years. And I've just decided that I'm going to read books when I'm excited about them. So if I buy a book, it's because I want to read it now and I'm going to read it now. So that's when I buy a book. Therefore, I'm not going to buy 20 books at one time because I cannot possibly read 20 books at one time. I'm going to buy a book when I know I'm going to read it, and it's going to be read immediately. And in the meantime, before there's another book I'm super excited about, or between when I buy books or whatever, I will be reading off my shelves. The only books that remain on my shelves at this point are things I'm super excited to read about. So that's how that's gonna work. So, and I intend to do mostly book reviews this year on this channel. That's another thing. So you're going to be seeing most of what I buy in the form of a book review here. It's already happened this month. You've seen several book reviews at this point. They're all books I have bought and I have read immediately. That's going to continue on. So this is going to be the channel of book reviews. And first in, first out system. So maybe less hauls, because I feel like pretty much any video I make is also sort of a book haul. We'll see. I think I'll still do a couple of bigger hauls with my birthday and when I get my work bonus, which are the 2 times of the year that I do big book hauls anyway. I think those will still happen. But other than that, it's going to not be, my hauls are not going to be super impressive. And another, I guess, I don't really have any resolutions. Everything I've talked about so far is just kind of necessity based. I also kind of see this as necessity based, but it is sort of a resolution too, I guess. I'm going to be reading a ton of nonfiction this year. So the 3 books I have done reviews for so far in 2017, 2 of them were nonfiction, and I don't expect that to change drastically. I'm going to be reading a ton of nonfiction. After the election, I just decided that there are so many things I don't know about, don't know enough about, and it's time to do as much as I can to fix that. And I'm pretty good about educating myself, but none of us are perfect. And I think my reading has been, I read nonfiction, but not nearly as much as I want to or should. And I always enjoy the nonfiction I read, so I'm going to just focus on it this year and try to read about as many experiences as possible, but probably particularly kind of honed in on the politics that the U.S. is engaging in these days, to combat prejudices that our country like to, white people, let's say white people like to put on or just engage in and support, and you know, white supremacy's policies. I want to combat those things, and my dog's growling at herself in the TV monitor right now. Forgive her if you can hear. So yeah. So anyways, a lot of nonfiction is basically what I'm saying, and it's going to be fairly politically charged nonfiction. I'm also looking about books specifically, so this is a recommendation call. I'd really love recommendations for books about Mexico. Anything about Mexico, fiction, nonfiction, culture, history, politics, anything. I have been doing my own research, and I just find a lot of the stuff I find about Mexico Online lacking. It's the same like 5 books over and over and over again, and I have to believe there are more than 5 books. You can also recommend me things in Spanish. I am pretty good at reading Spanish, and that's one of my like life resolutions, is to be able to fully read in Spanish, fluently read in Spanish. I've been working on it for 2 years. I am making another dedicated, as immersive as possible effort currently. So yes, you can recommend things to me in Spanish as well as English. And I just kind of want to, I have a friend who his dad immigrated from Mexico. And I think he might still be undocumented, I'm not entirely sure. But he self-hates. He hates Mexican immigrants. He speaks about them forcefully on Facebook. He is in full support of this wall, and it's just, I don't know how to engage with him like at all. And you know, just the self-hate, and I know it comes from, I mean, he's surrounded by white people all the time, and I have to believe that, you know, it's white people. I mean, white people, we're ruinous, aren't we? Anyway, so just I want more books and things, and I have a couple of Mexican friends I've also reached out for recommendations, and I found my own stuff, and we'll see where that goes. But if you've read anything that you really enjoyed about the country and its peoples, let me know. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much what you're going to be able to expect here. More random TV, movie stuff, a lot of nonfiction, and less book hauls out of necessity. I still love book hauls and I still love watching them, but for me right now, they're probably not going to be super numerous. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see everyone again soon.